Integrity, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, from inside Integrity, we are ready for the event.
NBC News, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call Integrity for a voice check.
Integrity, this is Tom Costello with NBC News. Are you hearing us okay?
Hey, Tom, it's great to hear your voice all the way up here, 155,000 nautical miles from Earth. How are you doing?
I'm well. Congratulations on your mission so far. I'm told this is the farthest interview ever conducted in history, and I'm wondering, how does it feel right now to be in a place that nobody has been since 1972?
Honestly, it is unbelievable that we in 1972, just being up here and seeing how difficult this is and how hard the team is working. We do have a little bit of echo on your call. We'll try to turn it down when we're answering, but this is a magnificent accomplishment to be up here, to see the moon, to see the Earth, and to know that we are between those two celestial bodies, and you can see it when you look out the window. The Earth is almost in full eclipse, the moon is almost in full daylight, and the only way you could get that view is to be halfway between the two entities. It is truly awe-inspiring up here.
The images you guys have sent back are absolutely spectacular, and when you look at the moon that you're headed for and that gets closer and closer, what are your thoughts?
Well, last night we did have our first view of the moon far side, and it was just absolutely spectacular. I think that one of the interesting things that happens when you look at a moon that inherently just looks different is like the darker parts just aren't quite in the right place, and something about you senses that is not the moon that I'm used to seeing. And sure enough, we got out our lunar targeting information, and we matched up, and we're like, yeah, that is the dark side. That is something we have never seen before. We must be, no kidding, like Reid said, somewhere between the Earth and the moon, getting a view from a different place and putting up something that has meant so much to so many cultures, scientifically, spiritually, culturally, for so long, seeing it in a different way, and just pairing that with how much we miss and love our families and knowing that they're looking up and seeing the same moon. It's a pretty amazing feeling.
And when you look back at Earth, you've sent these breathtaking images, and it's Easter weekend, of course. What are your emotions as you look back at Mother Earth?
Well, before I list off a couple emotions, there's been a lot of disbelief up here, just the fact that what we're seeing, where we are, it's hard to wrap your mind around. Like, I mean that sincerely. It really bends your mind. And the emotions that come along with that, there's a lot of happiness. Just to experience these unique things just brings you joy as a human. We're explorers at heart as human beings, and we really feel like we're exploring out here, and it brings a lot of excitement. And then, you know, right away you are humbled. The fact that 4 of us get to be out here just brings you to your knees. The thought that we get this experience, we're doing our best to show it with the camera, but you can't do it. I know those photos are amazing, but let me assure you, it is another level of amazing up here. And there's a lot of gratitude for the teams of people that made this possible. And then the final emotion is hope for humanity's future, that we can do this right now means we could do so much more.
You guys are a long way from home. You may not realize you become superstars, rock stars, while you've been gone. And I'm wondering, you've been able to talk to your families. How are they doing with you so far from home?
Well, just from I overheard from some of the conferences, and then what I enjoyed watching with my family, I think there's a lot going on. It's been interesting to hear what they have witnessed on the news and in social media, but also their launch experience. I got to hear the first story they saw, what they felt, and what they were thinking, and then what they wanted to know from me. And so the family conferences were great. It was so awesome to hear people talking to their families and then to speak with my family. And there's a lot, and I'm actually still processing. Mine was just about an hour ago, and I have a lot to go write down in my journal.
And I just want to tag on. I had my family conference right before Victor, so we had ours today. Christina and Jeremy had theirs yesterday, and I was just so jealous of them yesterday. I was so happy for them, but I was so jealous. And then this morning when my two daughters came on, and it was just the three of us talking, it was surreal. Just we're up here, we're so far away, and for a moment, I was reunited with my little family, and it was just the greatest moment of my entire life.
I'm just curious, you guys, you have all been dreaming of this moment for so long. Can you sleep in space when you are finally at this moment that you've been so excited about and working for so long?
Well, we do love sleeping up here, and such a long initial day that I think our bodies are ready to sleep no matter what. Most of us have been sleeping really well. For me, sleeping in space is one of the most comfortable ways to sleep, and it's very deep sleep, very peaceful sleep. Sometimes when you first get up here, you have a little bit of a sensation that something's wrong as soon as you wake up. Maybe you're falling, or you don't recognize your surroundings, but it's great. I mean, honestly, being human up here is one of the coolest things about this mission. We are just people trying to get by. And for example, we might go look at the far side of the moon and take in its awesomeness and then go, maybe I should change my socks and try to dig around for a pair of socks. So this is the dichotomy of human spaceflight.
How will you describe this moment to your families, your grandkids, many years from now?
You kind of left me speechless with that. I think, it is weird when you're the four humans doing this. We're not doing this for reasons. Jeremy's answer was great. Like, if we can unite the world, that's awesome. But we're just the lucky four that got to be on this mission. We were in the right place at the right time with our international team, and we're up here doing this. I don't think any of us have really thought about legacy or any of that sort of thing. I do think it would be really neat someday if I can sit around with my grandkids, or maybe Ike's grandkids, or Christina's, or Jeremy's, or somebody somewhere, and tell stories of these times up here, because some of them are going to be unbelievable. There's beauty, but there's human elements too, and I just think it'd be fun to share in this human adventure. The key part of human exploration is the human, and coming back and sharing the story, and we're going to try our hardest with every single person on planet Earth.
So listen, Al Roker is awfully upset that he couldn't be here. Any messages to Al Roker and the Today Show family? They are watching every moment of this.
I have to be honest, I'm a little sad Al's not doing this interview too. It's great to talk to you, Tom, but I mean, Al, we had so much fun running around KSC with him, and so I hope he watched the launch, and we look forward to talking to him when we get back. Love you, Al.
Yeah. He was with me the whole time. You all look great. We're wishing you a great trip, and we want to see great photographs from the far side of the moon. Thank you, Integrity.
Thank you, Tom. It was great to be with you.
Go back.
Integrity, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the NBC News portion of the event. Please stand by for a voice check from CBS News.
Integrity, this is Mark Strassman with CBS News. How do you read me?
Mark, we have you loud and clear here in Integrity, 155,000 nautical miles away from Earth. How do we sound?
You sound fantastic. Congratulations on all your success so far, and thank you for the amazing images that you sent back from space. My first question, I hope a couple of you will take a stab at. I mean, so many people on Earth are living this moment through your experiences. So on a personal level, since leaving Earth's orbit, what have you been most struck by, and what has been the biggest surprise?
Oh, I definitely think the thing that I have been most struck by was, I'm going to steal Jeremy's answer right here, but on translunar injection day, before we did that translunar injection burn, give me a second for the technical, and then I'll get to the artistic. But we're 38 miles from Earth, and then we got to come down to just 100 miles from Earth and do that translunar injection burn, and then we head out to the moon. And just that entire time, I mean, you could look away from the window and then look back, and Earth was bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And finally, Jeremy goes, I'm not sure if we're going to go around it or hit it. I mean, we're going right at the Earth. That translunar injection burn, we were just 100 miles up. That's not anywhere near the height of the International Space Station. We were under the International Space Station. They were just screaming right above the clouds, and that burn went off. And then just moments later, we look back, and we're already 30,000 miles from Earth heading to the moon. Like, blew us all away.
You know, Mark, I think one of the things that has struck me, there's so many amazing and so many profound things that we've seen and felt on this mission. But something else that just stays with me is a lot of us were excited to see Jeremy's expression or reaction to looking out at Earth from space, you know, being the first-time flyer. But the difference between Jeremy and someone who's never flown, but all of us, all four of us, and someone who's never flown is essentially equal. The three of us space before, I think, feel just as amazed to be up here and to see some of the sights that we've seen. And so even though we lived on space station for a collective 2 years, we have seen and felt things that we have never felt before, from that ride, that wonderful ride on SLS, to being that 38,000 miles from Earth and just seeing some amazing views.
You know, I think we've all been on a trip where we wish we had packed differently. Now that you're pushing deeper into space, is there something you left behind that you wish you had brought with you?
You're hearing a lot of brainstorming in the cabin right now. The resounding answer is we feel very well taken care of. There's not a whole lot we would live without. That typical forgetting your sunscreen or your bug spray on vacation. They thought of everything. We've got it all. My initial response was my family. I would love to have them up here, but then I might actually never come home. And yeah, I really can't think of much. The other joke was we think we had a radiation hit on one of our computers and took it down. So maybe we would have packed a spare computer. Other than that, we're just so well taken care of. In fact, so well taken care of that sometimes we forget. You can easily just get your presence here in the cabin and forget exactly where we are.
I want to ask a question for all the young people watching. Take Kruger Middle School in San Antonio. They are studying the science and the engineering of the moonshot, along with what it takes to be an astronaut. What is your message to all the kids watching and fascinated?
Yeah, I was sharing with some people yesterday, you need to identify your passions in life. We all are attracted to something out there that, just kind of fired up. And then just to recognize that everybody has something of value to offer. I mean, that is just a true statement. And we as humans, even the four people up here doing this, we have self-doubt. We've had it in our pathway as well. And so I know all those youth out there too are thinking, no, I can't do that. Every once in a while, you're going to have that. And so share your passions with others. You're going to be amazed at how they help you. They're on your team, and they're going to help you accomplish the things that you're interested in doing. And the reality is humanity needs those contributions. So just get after it.
Victor, I have one for you. Apollo 8 had a memorable Christmas Eve reading from Genesis. Do you have a message you'd like to share from space about Easter Sunday?
You know, I don't have anything prepared. I'm glad you brought that up, though. I think these observances are important, and as we are so far from Earth and looking back at, the beauty of creation, I think for me, one of the really important personal perspectives that I have up here is I can really see Earth as one thing. And, you know, when I read the Bible and I look at all of the amazing things that were done for us who were created, it's, you have this amazing place, this spaceship. You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in the universe, in the cosmos. I think maybe the distance we are from you makes you think what we're doing is special, but we're the same distance from you. And I'm trying to tell you, just trust me, you are special. In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, you know, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
Well, for someone who didn't have anything prepared, that was really quite extraordinary. Another question. During the lunar flyby, you're going to have radio silence for about 40 minutes. You'll be on one side of the moon. Everyone else on Earth will be on the other. You'll be focused on the mission. What do you hope the rest of us are thinking about?
I also haven't had anything prepared for that question, but I think things that come to mind for me are thinking about togetherness. When people talk about that Apollo 11 first moon landing, there's the two that landed on the moon, and then there's the one, Michael Collins, stayed in orbit, and he did orbits around the far side of the moon alone with those losses of signal. And people asked him the rest of his life what that was like. And in the end, for me, it leads back to gratitude. Gratitude that out of this huge universe, we get to live together on Earth, planet Earth, and what an anomaly that is. When I saw Earth for the first time on its own out the window, I was struck by the blackness around it. If you can just think about what it means to be together and what it means to be apart from your loved ones during that time and reflect on that, maybe we'll all come to a realization.
We've all watched a waxing moon from Earth. What's it like to watch the moon grow from space?
Well, before I get to the moon, something that I've just been really taken by is the waxing and waning Earth from our different perspectives. It's just been a little surprising to me. I just assumed it's sort of like the moon is consistent, you know, almost from day to day. You don't notice a huge change from one day to the next in how much of it is lit. But from, you know, 1 hour to a few hours later up here, we can see a completely different Earth as this orbit changes, especially when we are close to Earth. That was really surprising to me, from like crescent to full Earth. We woke up that first morning on TLI morning, it was a half Earth, then it was a full Earth, and then it was a no Earth. Yeah. It's just really amazing. To watch the moon grow is exciting. That's our destination. That's where we're locked onto. When we're done with you today, we're going to get into some review of some of the science we're going to be doing and shifting our mindset to the Earth or to the moon. And I'm pumped to do some of those observations, some time up close and personal with the moon before we set our sights back at home.
And I'll just add, yesterday we were looking out the docking hatch, which is off the camera to the top side, and we were just starting to see the moon, and it just looked different. And we were catching glimpses of the far side, the side that you can never see from Earth, of Grimaldi, of Orion. We were just starting to see around Grimaldi into that far. And as for humans who have looked at the moon our entire lives, it just looked different out the window, and that is wild. It just really put our place in the universe in perspective.
Thank you very much, everyone. And I think all of you should be grateful that Christina is such an expert space plumber. We'll see you when you get back.
We are. Thank you, Mark. It was great talking to you, and we are grateful. Take care.
Integrity. This is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes our event.
Thank you to all participants. Integrity, we are now resuming operational audio communications.